freedom is one of the things that I think shows up a lot with people when we help them with defining their purpose. And because purpose usually starts with sorry Simon, it doesn't start with why, it starts with who usually. I find that people, when they figure out who they're doing it for, the why shows up automatically and takes care of itself. And because the who is such a predominant role in a purpose, people want freedom to spend time with their who, right? The reason we go to work every single day is for somebody, right? And sometimes the who can be them, right? That's not a bad thing, but it's still somebody that the who is driving. Freedom is one of those things that gets perceived in different ways. Sometimes freedom is looked upon by some people as a financial measurement. I think sometimes freedom is looked upon as time, like what you do with your time. I think freedom sometimes is looked upon as choice, decisions we're making. I don't think any one of them was a wrong way to look at freedom, but I think you do need to determine what freedom looks like for you. For me, it's time. Because when I reached the perceived end of life in 2011, there was only one thing I wanted more of. It was time. It wasn't money, right? It wasn't my opinion to be heard. It wasn't to talk to more people. It wasn't to influence more. It wasn't to do any of those things. I wanted more time, and the reason I wanted more time was for the who I was doing things for. I wanted to spend more time with my wife. I wanted to spend more time with my kids. I wanted to spend more time making an impact on other people. Selfishly, I wanted more time for me. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. I wanted more time. And so you have to determine what freedom looks like for you. And once you value that over money, it opens up a whole different world to you. For me, because it's time, it wasn't money, I was willing to decrease the amount of outgo a month in our expenses to get there quicker. People, when they talk about freedom, one of the things I don't quite understand is they talk about money being freedom for them, but every time they make more money, they just move the goalpost farther out and limit their freedom more. You know, they get tied to the job, they get tied to the chair, they get tied to the profession that they're in because they keep moving the goalposts and they can't ever reach it. I set ours at $5,312 a month. That wasn't steak dinners and fancy cars or anything, but it enabled me never to have to work for somebody again. And I'd be happy going back to that tomorrow to keep my time, right? And time for me isn't just like sitting around, and I tried it for 6 months. I mean, you can only play so much golf. You know, you can only try to reinvent something, so many times. For me, it's about giving back and helping other people. And freedom for me isn't about doing something because I have to do it. It's doing it because I want to do it. And today I choose to do and work with teams because I want to, not because I have to. And I think that's where I'm obviously always measuring that to make sure that freedom mark doesn't change for me.